Hi, it's me, Rebecca, your real estate go-to girl, and in this week's video, I wanted to cover a really important topic in real estate, which is the FSBO, or for sale by owner property. Now, I'm sure you've probably seen those signs. They're usually red and white, sometimes with a number that's a little hard to read, and maybe you've considered buying or selling your home as a for sale by owner. So let's go into some of the pros and cons of these types of deals. On the buyer's side, one of the biggest advantages of a FSBO is the fact that it's going to increase the options that you have available to purchase. So maybe you haven't seen your dream home listed in the MLS. Looking at FSBO options might help you discover your dream option. In addition to that, it's also going to decrease the competition because a lot of sellers are not going to be mass marketing their properties. Many buyers won't even know that a home is on the market unless they happen to go by this sign. So that's definitely going to decrease the number of buyers that you have who might be contemplating purchasing the home. In addition to that, on the seller side, one of the biggest advantages of a FSBO is the fact that you're going to save money on those commission fees. So in most cases, the buyers and the sellers in these deals are not going to be represented by agents, and so the seller will not have to pay out those commissions at the end of the deal. In addition to that, you might also have more control, or at least feel that you have more control on the deal because you are calling the shots on your side. Now, let's talk about some of the cons. On the buyer's side, one of the biggest disadvantages of a FSBO is the fact that you are not going to be represented, which means you're not going to have someone guiding you throughout the transaction to make sure that you're able to close the deal. In addition to that, another serious issue is the fact that you might be dealing with a seller who is somewhat uninformed when it comes to the real estate transaction. So that could be anything from the price of the property or the different steps involved in the transaction. The seller might honestly not know, and that could cause you some extra headaches along the way. And finally, as a buyer, you're not going to have those built-in protections from some of the trade organizations, such as the Realtor Association, which requires its members to go through ethics trainings and really has higher standards in terms of conduct. So because you won't be dealing with an agent, you won't necessarily have those consumer protections available to you. Now let's talk about the seller side. When you're working with a FSBO as a seller, one of the biggest disadvantages is the fact that you are going to have lots of lowball offers. So just because you're saving the money on the commission doesn't mean that the buyers are going to offer you your list price. In fact, they're probably going to offer you much lower than that because they understand that you're not paying commission fees out of your proceeds. In addition to that, you're going to have a lot more buyers who are going to be unvetted. That means that they haven't gone through the screening process of a buyer's agent to make sure that they are pre-approved and ready to purchase. So that means lots of looky-loos who are just interested in looking at your home for the sake of looking at it. And finally, exposure. So the MLS is one of the greatest options in order of marketing your home because it's going to syndicate out to many, in some cases hundreds of different websites to make sure that people have the opportunity to see your property. So when you're listing as a FSBO, you're definitely going to decrease your opportunity for exposure, which ultimately decreases the odds of the right buyer coming across your home. So these are just some of the pros and cons that you should consider when it comes to for sale by owner properties. And at the end of the day, you should really analyze what's going to work for you because there are some things that you can totally DIY and other things that you just shouldn't. That's all for this week's video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and also leave me a comment with topics that you would like me to cover. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.